this backwards? I guess we'll find out. Pow buttons. Pow buttons. And so we also want to go with pow time. It's pow type I. Are those all of them? Oh, pow buttons. Okay. Let's see if that did it. So, nope. That clearly did not. Why? Wait. Oh, pow time. Wait, what would have been out of range? I don't know what would have been out of range in that case. I guess we can find out. Alright, settle down. Pow buttons, pow type I. Oh, -1, right. Yeah, so I think I'm doing this backwards. What is so if I need the do I want to go just by pow buttons instead of pow type? If I go by pow buttons, then right, yeah, okay. I think that's what. Yeah, I think there's actually the pow buttons actually is I, and then pow type, so pow buttons is the one that doesn't need to go by pow type, right? I think that's true. And then type, yeah, type is basically like the way that we keep track of what power we're referring to, regardless of what button it is. Alright, so pow buttons now uses just index I, and the rest use pow type as their index. Pow type I as their index. So let's see how that goes. So we put down whatever, and then we put down dash, and it works. Alright, yeah. Yeah, the way I said of those arrays is a little confusing. But dash seems still to work, even though I commented out that thing. So I don't know why that thing was even in there in the first place. If I put the speed down to 0, doesn't like that. Alright, how about 1? If I put the speed down to 1. Yeah, it seems to be working fine. And I guess now it should, hypothetically, dude should be able to dash right through the, right through this. Yeah. Alright, well that seems fine. I'm slightly concerned about what would happen if he dashes and stops right in the middle of the thing. But I guess maybe we'll find out at some point what happens in that case. I think if anything, the effect would just be like a slightly jarring pop. You know, there's actually a cleaner way I could implement that too. So but I mean, for now it seems to be working alright, so I'm actually probably just not going to worry about it right now. Just going to assume that's okay. Oops, sorry about that. Infinite scale. Negative infinity. Whoops. Uh, so, oh no, I left my bottle of water downstairs. Um, sorry, I'm just getting slightly parched, so I'm going to go grab my bottle of water. I'll be right back. Super soon. Super soon, I swear. I'm almost back already, I swear. Back. Back. So, what were we doing? Alright. So. So, dashing seemed to work okay. I guess I should probably make, I just feel meh about, about the way I set up about how I set this up, so I think I'm not gonna change it much. I'm just gonna change it, like, ever so slightly. I don't understand why that worked. Why did that not change anything? I made it so that, alright, I don't know, I can't think about that too much, because I just don't even know. So, did I put in this else case? This else case wasn't here to begin with. No, this else case was definitely there before. All I put in was this part. So, yeah. So keep that, but put it at the end of fixed update, which I'm guessing is right here. So yeah, int brackets srm, hooray, srm equals scan range multi. Oh wait, there's no mob index to use for this. So I guess maybe I should change scan range multi to use a position rather than to accept a factor 3 rather than accepting an index for the mob index. How do I use mob index in scan range multi? Do I use the mob index in scan range multi in a way that I could not just change it to be a vector? Let's find out. Scan range multi. What? No. You weirdo. I was where I want it to be. Alright, so, oh, yeah. Alright, so I'm going to refactor it to something that pops a little bit more. But, I just want to change its name. There we are. So I'll just change it to mob index srn, just so it really pops. Alright. Oh. Okay. Okay, so yeah, I am kind of using mob index in a way that a vector does not translate automatically. But I mean, if I'm just using it for coords, I could just calculate the coordinates instead of going by the known coordinates, so that's actually not that hard. And that's all. I do that a lot, though. But that's simple enough. I just I just calculate it once and then keep referring to it, because we're just referencing the same thing again, and we're just doing it that way because we can. So yeah, there's nothing really there that actually has to change. And I don't pass the mob index into scan cell multi, so that's fine. So yeah, maybe I'll make that change. Instead of mob index, we will have what? Alright, so yeah, first thing needs to happen, we need to go oh yeah, right. So let's say we now have vector 3 vec, I guess, or vector 3 paw center cmtr. And then what are we doing with that? So so instead of just referring to coordinates that we already have, let's what are we doing? So we need two ints. We need int cix, I guess, and ciz, int ciz, and these will equal where are you indented? These will equal what would typically get returned by chords for the mob index. And now let's remind ourselves what gets returned by chords from the mob index. What are chords from the mob index? Chords equals C of x and C of z, and what are those? Alright, so yeah, this is gonna be weird, because the home might not be on the grid, which is weird. Alright, but yeah, let's just borrow our calculations for C and Z. Or first, what CIX and CIZ. And that stuff doesn't matter. So yeah, CIX equals, except it's not actually that, we're talking about center dot x and equals center dot z. And so then instead of using chord 0, we'll use CIX, and instead of using chords 1, we'll use CIZ. So chord 0, chords, chords 1, chord 0, they're in here somewhere. sort port 0. Chords 1, chord, no, sweep chords. Alright, hold on. Chords, mob, index. Okay. Alright, now they stand out a little more. That's better. Way better. CIX. 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 Alright, and now I need to change the others to CIZ. Alright. Yeah. So now, instead of looking up the coordinates for based on the mob index, we will just use the coordinates that we just checked now. And so, yeah, so then the weird thing about this is that since this vector doesn't have to be in the grid, we might just end up with like we could plug in a vector, like a position that's like way outside the coordinates range, and then pretty much everything we do is guaranteed to return nothing, because if there was anything nearby to scan, then the coordinates range would also extend to that far. So let's make sure that we're not going to break everything with this. So do we do that in scan cell multi, or do we do it? I think we might do it in scan cell multi. Yeah, if Ix is greater than or equal to 0, and if Ix is less than span x. Same for z. Alright, so I think we converted that correctly, right? Because now it's all just based on the... Well, let's see if we're using mob index SRM anywhere else. Nope, that's the only place we're using it. So yeah, I think we converted that all right. And since it doesn't show up anywhere, that we can get rid of that. Now we just have to change all of the instances of scan range multi to use not use the mob index. All of the instances were using the mob index previously, because that's how it had been set up to be used. So now let's look at all of our instances of scan range multi. Scan range multi. So now instead of 0 for the mob index, we do mobs 0 dot transform dot position. And yeah, we'll do that for all of the instances. So mobs I dot transform dot position. Oh, that was scan range, not scan range multi. Whoops. Oops, don't mind me. Go back to using I. Let's be more careful about what we look for. Scan range multi. Okay. So instead of mobs target I, we use mobs target I. We use mobs. Mobs target I dot transform dot position. Alright, so we fix that one up. Yeah, okay. So, alright. So that one we can just get rid of. No, that's the one that we were setting up, right? Okay, so don't get rid of it yet. Okay. So mob 0 dot transform dot position. Oh right, yeah. This is this one. So mobs srmi dot transform dot position. I hope this just works, because this is enough of a change that I don't really want to go through and deal with it once I've done it. of 0 dot transform dot position. Is that all? Yeah. Alright, so now hypothetically we change nothing. Now hypothetically everything just still works like it used to. Hypothetically. Seems okay so far. Oh yeah, let's do scan range multi. So bombs, for example. Bombs, good, still works. Just like it used to. Dash, do you also still work like it used to? So far so good. And then just, yeah, general targeting seems to... Wait, no. No, general targeting uses scan range. It doesn't use scan range multi. They only use, yeah, only the powers use scan range multi. Alright, so yeah, that seems to work. Alright, so now we can be a little bit smarter about the thing that we were doing. So, scan range multi, now that it takes vectors, we can say home dot transform dot position. We can say n of 0 because we want all of the targets. R min 0. R max is right. So R max is the thing. Oh, I had that chunk in my clipboard, so I'll have to reconstitute that chunk. Alright, so what is it? It's mob radius. No, mob diameter divided by 2 plus home radius. Yeah, and then y max. I guess we don't. Yeah, we can stop caring about the ones that are super high up. I think 0.8. 0.8 was the. Wait, why 0.8? Oh, it's actually 0.75, and I was rounding to 0.8 for some reason. So I think that's a true story. I'm pretty sure the height is was 1.5. Oh, wait, no, the height is probably 3 because it probably started at 2 and now it's multiplied by 1.5. So let's double check that actually. Oh yeah, let's make this hidden again for a moment. Comment that out. So yeah, so home radius. I'm also then going to do home height, just cause. Where would that be? Where did I put home radius? I forget. No, not that one, the previous points. Yeah, okay, so home radius float, home height, equals, I think home height is going to be 3, but let's find out. Home height, equals home transform get child 0 render bounds extents y times 2. Alright. And I guess I never really need to know what that is because I can just start using it now that I have it. So yeah, the height that we'll look through is home height is the max height. And if something goes flying over this, then it can just keep on sailing. Alright, save that. And then and so now this is actually we won't check literally every mob because why bother checking literally every mob? What don't you like? Oh, we're already using SRM. So h underscore SRM. So then for int I equals 0, I less than h underscore SRM dot length I plus plus. So now we're going to scan around the home structure for all of the mobs that are in that close proximity, and then we're only going to bother offsetting those mobs. So yeah. Right, so so then this is the thing that I had in my clipboard, but then I accidentally put other things in my clipboard, and oops. Oh, this only shoot. I just remembered that this only looks for green mobs. It doesn't look for like the hero and his allies and stuff, so they could still actually get pushed in this way. So I guess I could add a new parameter to scan range multi to specify which I'd prefer. And the other thing I could do is just make the home a mob and give it supreme weight so that it never gets shoved around. Although it would technically still get shoved around, it just gets shoved around very small amounts. So maybe I didn't need to change scan range multi. Maybe I won't use this approach. Maybe I'll just well, actually no, I guess this is still technically better than affecting all mobs, and then I can just do the hero and allies separately, maybe. Yeah. Alright, anyways, let's do that, why not? So what we have let's not do this if they're dashing. So if dashing I, if not dashing I, then that thing that we were doing before. So vector 3 h offset equals mobs I dot position dot transform dot position minus home dot transform dot position, and then it equals h offset equals actually what then it equals right just the x and z values. We don't care about the other ones. X or h offset dot x h offset dot y. No, not y. That was the one we don't want. 0 h offset z. So then if the magnitude of this vector dot magnitude is less than mob diameter divided by 2 plus home radius. So if this mob is too close, then what did we do in that case? Mobs I dot position do I keep track of the indexes of allies? I forget. I think I did at one point, but I maybe don't. No, I probably don't. Yeah. So maybe I should change scan range multi to optionally return all possible targets. not just green mobs. That should be fairly easy, fairly straightforward. And that would make this thing that I'm working on now a little bit easier, or a little more straightforward. Alright, so mobs I dot transform dot position minus equals, no, plus equals h offset dot normalized times this term thingy minus h offset dot magnitude. Okay, so now the hero and the allies and his allies can probably clip through the thing at this point, but what's this about? What's null about that reference? Why would an index period? Oh, right. That's what's yeah. I was just looking at the yeah. Okay, so it's actually s underscore no h mobs h underscore srm I. Okay, and then it's also not that. It's h underscore srm I. Right, I got our indices, but then I didn't use our indices, which was silly. So, yeah, where else am I? Yeah. Here. Alright. So now, that thing that I said about how the hero should probably clip through this, but the mobs go around it. Good. And those ones stopped moving because I got out of range. If I were still here, they'd probably continue to swarm. Alright, so now I just need to change scan range multi one more time. I just need it to have like a Boolean I just need to be like, so what? So we have y max and then bool allies, or like bool what, like or I guess I could go int types, and I actually don't need to use it out here, but I need to pass it into scan cell multi, because in types we'll say, so instead of if equals to, we'll say if greater than or equal to mob, if greater than or equal to types. If is greater than or equal to types. And then so we can use 2 for the case that we only want to get back the green mobs, and then we can use 0 for the cases that we only want to get back, or that we want to get back everything. And we could even use 1 in the case that we want to just green mobs and allies, but I don't know if that's an actual case yet. So yeah, we'll do that both places here. Alright, so save that. And also now, yeah, so now search for scan cell multi, okay, and then these we have to add in types. Oops, not there. Aha. Aha. Yay, alright, so now we're we're filtering that appropriately, and now we have to change the instances of scan range multi to also pass in types. Multi, scan range multi. So all these coordinates, or all these, et cetera, and then also 2, because in all previous instances we actually wanted the types to be 2. So here as well. Wait, is this? No, this is the one where we want it actually to be 0. I mean, I guess I could get the allies caught up in dashing. I don't know necessarily why I'd want that to be the case, but I could totally do that. Alright, so now, hypothetically, everything still works, and the hero and allies will not clip through the, this thing, they'll actually go around it. Although now they just kind of like dump into it. I should probably make that smarter. I mean, like, yeah, there's some pathing things in general that I should probably make smarter, but that one stands out in my mind. Let me think. I feel like there is an obvious way. I feel like it has to do with like dot products or like vector multiplication or something. Because basically what we're doing is we're just like he's trying to translate closer to the cylinder, and he's just getting pushed directly away from the cylinder. But we know it's the angle that they were trying to translate. But we know it was the vector that they were trying to move through, so we can always just we can use that to add some lateral translation based on what's the component of that vector that's actually perpendicular to the offset. Or we could just hack something to get roughly that effect. Yeah. Let me think. Offset. Well, actually, I should check that allies still work. Just because I haven't seen them in a while. Come on, give me some allies. There's one. Allies. Yeah. I need a cheat. Yeah, allies. Oh, I have a cheat. No, I don't. Actually, this is the one thing that I can't really cheat right now, is the creation of allies. So yeah, I should probably put in a cheat for that. pow3, what do you do? You do nothing. Alright, so you guys probably don't clip through the, you do not. Alright. Derp. Alright, so how important is that? I guess for now it's not very important. Alright, so I'll put it in that list of things that are less important. You're out of date. Overload you. No. I don't... Actually, don't use this very often, so I don't know what that means. I don't see how it could be out of date, considering really no one else should be editing this right now. Alright, so what was I gonna do? Oh yeah, smarter pathing around home, I guess. Hero. Actually, while I'm starting while I'm keeping a backlog now, I might as well put in the things that I know for like other projects. So, grav, add skill. I know what that means. Some of the feedback that I got when showing the game to people was that they don't feel like they're getting better at the game, so I have to add that in. I have to add in a way for people to feel like they're getting better at the game. They are actually getting better at the game. It's just a very subtle curve, so it's not as overt as people would like, and so that has to become more apparent. And then B-Box. I think you need just a better intro for one thing. Yeah, but I won't get too distracted by that. What time is it? It's almost 3 o'clock. Alright. I've been off my game today, I think. No, just fixing bugs and like refactoring things. Super fun. This is it's great. Super great. No, actually, I guess I spent like the first half hour of the stream just like talking about like what I might do. Excuse me. So now let's actually do those things, now that we're actually like slightly more set up to be doing those things. Specifically, let's give the mobs new motivation so that they can do something when they don't have a target. Or like, do mobs even target things anymore? I don't know. Maybe it's kind of convenient if mobs target you, but like, why are they targeting you? Maybe I don't need to explain that. Maybe it's fine that they're just not smart. So that way, or I could just take out mob targeting and see how that goes. Alright, well, I mean, for starters, let's just try hacking out mob targeting and see how that goes. So if offset dot magnitude is less than mob's range, wait, why scan range multi? Where am I? Am I in the targeting block? I'm looking for the uses of scan range, not multi. Alright. Okay, here's the targeting block. So if dashing and mobs type, if not dashing and mobs type equals 1 and final target equals 0, or mobs type not equal 1. I guess I could just say mob type equals 0, because now that if we take out 2, then that's the alternative. So mob type, say, equals 0. And mob start time, yep, mob target I is greater than or equal to 0. Yep, alright, so that's good. Alright, so now mobs don't target anymore. Green mobs don't target. How's that feel? I mean, yeah, they're just completely inert now. So maybe that's okay. Oh, yeah. I just remembered another thing that I have to do. I have to, for Hero, I have to separate ally follow from targeting. Okay, so and that's because currently when allies follow you around, they stop targeting. So right now, for example, the ally or the hero is still targeting things he because his follow does not use the targeting system, but the ally, when he's following, he's actually using the hero as his target, and so he does not otherwise target things, which is just a little thing that I want to fix. Alright, so now instead, I guess the motivation of the mobs is not to target, it's to well, it's not to target the hero or allies, it's to swarm towards the home location, receive a cheese cracker, and then try and escape with it. So for one thing, let's change where mobs spawn to -20 or positive 10. I think actually is what I meant to say. So right now they're just appearing wherevs, and that's mostly fine, except that I want this one to be 10 plus, etc., etc. So now they appear much further away. And it actually should be probably further than that. So let's say what? I guess we can crank down the mob spawn time, because we're going to want them to start appearing relatively slowly at first. So let's say spawn period is like 1, for example. So now, yeah, mobs will just like gradually appear. Oh yeah, they appear at the same time as buttons, because those things still show up once every second. So yeah, so much simpler than it used to be. So much simpler. I think I'm probably actually going to go like crazy with it. I mean, I don't know, I guess with a spawn time of 1, they do actually start to pile up fairly fast, and if they were actually like, charging towards home, then they would be appearing even faster. Maybe I could just get a little dot to like sit on the hero and point towards home, because that way, like if you're right here, then it's like behind the dude, and so you'd be visible. And if you're like here, it'd be like next to the dude, and so it'd be visible. But then it wouldn't be visible when you're looking at it. But if you're looking at it, then you don't really need to remember where it is, because you can see it. I mean, unless it's covered up by a power up. But so that's something to think about. But I don't even know if I need that yet. All right, so yeah, traversal. So yeah, I mean the whole targeting system. Picks a target and then it. I mean, I guess the way green mobs will work after this is very dissimilar to how the hero and allies work. So maybe when I go in to change the how ally targeting shouldn't use, or ally follow shouldn't use targeting, maybe then I can clean up some other stuff just based on mobs not having to. Oh, that's funny. I changed scan range multi so that it can include hero and allies, and now I think I could probably change scan range to not include hero and allies, because mobs don't target. But I won't yet, because who knows, I might want them to target at some point. Actually, that probably helps a lot, because like mob swarming was like awkward at times, just how they would all like try and cram into the same space. Um, anyways, let's see. So for all this stuff, yeah. um, for all this stuff, we don't really need to worry about mobs of mob type 2 anymore, right? Yeah. So here we're checking if mob type is less than 2, but we can actually move that check much higher up now, I think, because we can just like, yeah, we can just, okay, so if mob, yeah, let's move this up here. Oops, forgot the ands. Alright, so yeah, now nothing should change. Yeah, I really need a cheat for to make allies appear, because right now it's just all you do is wait until multiplier modifiers show up, which could be forever. Goof. Oh, multiplier. Alright, target things. Target things like, oh yeah, I forgot, I jacked up the power way high. Yeah. What? Alright, so the ally can target things. Did I? Is that how it always has been, or? I feel like he's... It's hard to tell because I cranked up the power so high. Yuck. Alright, maybe... Oh, multiplier thing. Goodness. Oh, good. Look at all these multipliers right up front. That's way more convenient. Thank you. What? That was like 3 multipliers. Why do I only have 1 ally? Ugh. Alright. I've clearly messed something up, but I don't know what yet. Yeah. Why did that not get multiplied? Did you get multiplied? No? I don't know what just happened. Ugh. And of course now I get no more. No more forever. Oop, pow3. pow3. Oh, well, there we go. Alright, so it's not completely broken. That's funny, why did it, I could have sworn I used 3 of those things and totally did nothing for the second 2. But yeah, ally targeting seems to be working okay. I think I have to crank up ally perception though, because when now that the mobs don't move around, I was noticing situations where the hero would get a target and the mobs would be, or the allies would be so far behind that they weren't really doing anything. Oh no, okay, I guess that could be working. Maybe? I won't worry about it yet, I guess. Although I should put in a cheat to crank up some allies just for that testing. So I'm going to do that real quick because that's actually going to be useful. So let's say public int or public bool, no, int spawn allies equals 0, and then yeah, where do I handle that? Oh yeah, okay, so Alright, yeah, that's fairly straightforward. I'm just gonna add to fixed update if spawn allies please is greater than 0, spawn an ally and decrement. Oh, oops, I forgot something. What is AIDX? Oh yeah, I did forget something. All of this, in fact. Alright, yeah. Then close that. Alright. And decrement. Actually, I'm just gonna do it regardless. We have a limit. I think we have like 10 allies that we can guarantee to spawn, and then after that it's like, well, no, actually, yeah, I'll just decrement in here, and it'll be fine if it doesn't decrement. Whatever, this is a cheat. I'm gonna get rid of it eventually, right? Nah, I'll just put it out here, whatever. Super doesn't matter. Spawn allies, please. Yeah. So now, when we want to test that sort of thing, we can just go like 10 or like 9. Again? Did it only spawn one ally again? Wow. Oh no, there's a bunch of allies and they're all right on top of each other, right? No? Yes? No? Yeah, there are. Yeah, there totally are. Alright. So, alright. Yep, that's fun. I know how to fix this. So they, yeah, right now they appear at that position, but they actually have to appear at a slightly different position. Yeah, so let's change that. Let's change that in the real place, and then we can change it for the cheat as well. Alright, so we have to say, we have to add some variability to where they spawn. So vector3 spos equals this thing. However, vector, oh, actually no, I guess we can just say that plus new vector3 random dot value, say divided by 2 or times 0.5, 0.5, 0, and then right. So now they won't literally all spawn on top of each other. Actually, let's add less variability. Just a skosh of variability. Just that they don't literally all appear on top of each other. Alright, and so now spos. I mean, I guess I should move spawning ally into its own thing, but it's only, I don't know, it's only really ever supposed to occur in one location. It's just like, it's only because of this hack that it's occurring in multiple locations. So, I don't know. It's probably fine for now. Alright, so yeah, now if I do spawn allies 9, I should get like a mess of allies. Alright, good. That is helpful for testing purposes. And yeah, they seem to do okay in terms of like targeting. At least so far. Alright, so now let's, yeah, now that we've gotten rid of the mob's other tendencies, let's give them a new one. Wow, yeah, it is really easy to lose track of where the thing is located. Just kind of wandered off in like whatever direction for a while. just cause. All right, so yeah, I should put in something about that. But I was also just like wandering off in an arbitrary direction. Once I have other context cues as to like what once I have like actual motivations, you know, uh, based on like the game, how the game plays out, I think I won't be as inclined to just wander off in random directions like that. All right. So let's I mean, the difference now for mobs, green mobs, other than now that they don't target, they like, and this is what kind of where I went awry with allies. I was like, oh well, if mobs are supposed to be moving towards the hero, it's almost as if the hero is their target. And I actually went forward with that, and I regretted it. So I'm not actually going to try and make the home like a target and use the targeting system for that. Instead, I'm just going to come up with like a new sort of targeting system, but specifically for green mobs to orient towards that location. So no, this isn't. Where's the targeting system? Control F. Control F. Yeah, that's what I was saying. Okay. So no, not that. Wait, what is this? Oh right, yeah, gotcha. Oh yeah, I hacked scan range to be invertible, and I guess things are fine. I haven't identified necessarily a problem that I've attributed to that yet, so maybe fine. If mob type equals 1. Alright, so now only the hero and allies target, and now all this stuff. Well, I mean, I guess that's a little bit redundant because mob's target is going to be. Yeah, so actually that's not strictly necessary. Where did I get this from? I guess I got it from attacks, because I had disabled their attacks. Yeah, I guess that's fine actually. I'll just put it back there for no specific reason. Wait, was it here or here? Offset dot magnitude is less than mob's range. I guess I can put it here. Not that it matters, because again, this is always going to evaluate for true for now, because we because mobs will never end up with a target. Green mobs will never end up with a target. So what's this bit about? If I equals 0 in seek mode, or if I not equals 0. Oh yeah. Alright, so I guess this is kind of the same, except offset just means something different for mobs, for green mobs. What is this offset that we're dealing with here? I guess this is just oh yeah, what is offset in this case? Offset H is that, but wait, offset, there's no H here. Is there supposed to be an H there? Where does this offset come from? Oh, here it is. Alright, okay. Alright, so this is only occurring if the mob has a target. Nah, we don't have to use any of that. We can just have this a whole separate thing specifically for mob type C, because we have this separate block for mob type 1. So I guess we can, well, actually that we'll hopefully get rid of at some point. We can just oh right, because yeah, we do want this only to occur if the mob is not like flying through the air. So alright, so that's good. So it'll be within this block, but it'll just be its own separate thing. So if mobs type I equals 2 equals 2, then yeah, this is where we'll point them towards the home location and have them march onwards. So if okay, so if if mob types equals to and no vector 3 offset or h offset equals mobs I dot transform dot position. Actually no, I'll do it the other way around this time. So home dot transform dot position minus mobs I transform dot position. So this is like the direction that they're heading, and so to move them along it, we would just say you would just normalize it, multiply it by the speed, and multiply it by the fixed delta time. So yeah, I guess we can just do that. Although actually no, we don't want to do that yet, because that's only the oh yeah, alright, so now we need a new state for whether they're carrying a cheese cracker. So I'll just say bool mobs carrying. I mean, we'll also need the cheese crackers themselves. We'll need some visual representation of the cheese cracker. Presumably when you knock a cheese cracker out of a mob's hand. Oh no, when you knock a cheese cracker out of a green mob's hand, it just kind of like disappears. You just get it back automatically. You don't have to like go fetch it or anything. Or maybe you do have to fetch it, and like other mobs can pick it up. No, that sounds not fun. I doubt. I mean, maybe I'll want that at some point, but for now I don't. That just sounds unfun. So mobs type bool mobs carrying equals new bool array max mobs, and I'm pretty sure that initializes to false. I'm pretty sure bool array is do, so that's good. So yeah, so actually so we want to say if object equals to yeah, we want to actually no, I guess we don't necessarily want to, we only really need to check that if the mob's not already carrying. So if mobs carrying I, then we'll do something, and then else we'll do that thing that we were gonna do. Yeah. So we can the thing that we're gonna do specifically is gonna say if mobs if h offset dot magnitude is less than let's say diameter, mob diameter, plus home radius. And I'm not dividing mob diameter in half because we're not checking for clipping now. We're just checking to see if the mob is sufficiently close to home. And if the mob is sufficiently close, we'll set, if they've essentially reached their destination, we'll say mobs carrying I equals true. This is also when they would get their cheese cracker. So I'll write a note for myself. Give a mob a cookie. It might be a cookie. It'll be a cookie. It's not going to be either of those things. It's just going to be like a coin, but I'm calling them cheese crackers, or possibly cookies. Cheese cookies? That sounds weird. But I mean, these are weird mobs, so maybe they like cheese cookies. Ugh. I don't like that. Ugh. Doesn't sound good to me. But then, okay, so then if they're not within that range, then we will, that is the case in which we will translate the mob towards their destination. Specifically, h offset dot normalized, and then this whole shebang. Yeah. Alright, so now mobs move towards the home until they get close enough, in which case they start carrying, and then we haven't said what to do otherwise. So I guess what to do otherwise is actually, we just kind of want them to walk in like the positive z direction, I guess. This is like their escape. So if mobs are already carrying, then let's just make them flee the scene. So, okay, let's do this before I forget what I'm trying to do here. And it's actually not h offset. It's just I think it's actually one of the I think it's like forward. I think it's like vector3 dot forward, which might already be normalized. But let's see if any of that, etc., etc. Alright, so I'm getting out of the way. I'm just going to stand back and observe. Alright, so they just kind of march towards... Oh, and look at that! Yeah! Those ones are totally carrying. You can tell, because they're not marching towards the thing anymore. Yeah! And then, alright, so that seems to work. And they'll just march on forever. Which I should stop, because, okay, yeah. Okay, so, right, so kind of like I did before, I'm going to say, if mobs I dot transform dot position dot z is greater than escape distance, I guess. I think I have escape height, which is if you kick a mob high enough, then the height at which they just kind of like evaporate. But yeah, let's do... I don't know, I don't want to call it escape because they're very different things. So maybe I should change the other escape to not be called escape. Right, I think yeah, escape height. I guess, let's say public float escape distance. I guess that's fine. And then it'll probably be like 15. And that means that if the mobs carry the cookie back to 15 or so. Um, hmm. Actually, what if instead of what if instead of what if instead of marching back to where they came from, what if they just kept marching in the same direction? Then nah, I like marching back in the direction they came from. I think that'll basically be the same thing, except as if both halves of the longer lane were like on top of each other, which would make for more interesting explosions. And that way, if you have to chase after a mob to get back a cookie, you can you'll just kind of like incidentally knock more dudes around, which is somewhat beneficial. I mean, hypothetically, you might knock them closer to their goal, but I don't know. If we don't like it, we can always change it. If we don't like it, the lanes overlapping, we can always change that. Oh, and then the other thing. I mean, I always assumed like the way that I was spawning mobs was always just going to be like super temporary, and that I'd eventually change it to something different. But I don't know. I think now I just need to like nudge it a little bit, because I want the X distance to be more random. Wait, oh no, this isn't. What am I doing? Where am I? Yeah, so currently it's appearing in like just a very limited range, but I actually want it to be like, I don't know, 10 across maybe. Oh, so actually I want to do random value times 10 minus 5. Yeah. 10 might be too much. Maybe 8 minus 4. Actually, I was just reminded of something about how I'm spawning allies. I think I'm only... I mean, I guess it doesn't super matter, but... transform position... Oh, yeah, times 0.25... Oh, fine. Okay, minus 0.125 F. Not that that super matters, but... whatever... Now it's technically slightly more centered here because of that. So, where's the other part where I spawn? Yeah. Alright. Save that. Did I break something? Or did I just didn't finish my sentence, yeah, okay. So transform, oh yeah, right, so escape distance. Then carrying is false. Mob carrying, I guess I can just destroy the mob at this point. Or I'll just set carrying false and the mob will go back for another cookie. Maybe? I don't know. One of those two. Probably. Mob carrying equals false. Yeah, in which case it will naturally just go back for another cookie. So, yeah. This should technically be slightly more interesting now. Kind of, almost. Yeah, so the mobs are definitely going for the cookies. Yeah, I guess this kind of like... yeah. It's kind of hard. There's no real way to like target literally a specific mob. I mean, I guess I could introduce a way to target a specific mob, but in general, it's kind of hard to like chase down. Maybe I don't know. I guess like if the game really does occur just like in one lane here, like if all the action is like very oriented like off in the same direction, I could just take out the camera swivel. I only really put it in there when I was thinking that you might want to move around the map and like look in different directions and stuff, but like if all the action is happening right here, then like you don't really need to it's like basically just distracting to have the camera move around like that. So yeah, so one thing I'm thinking is like probably jack down the mob's speed, because now that they actually, just considering how many mobs there are, like I'd rather have tons of mobs that are a little bit slower than very few mobs that are a little bit faster. So let's have that at least. Now you can chase them down fairly effectively because they're very slow moving. Cha, kwa, cha, kwa, cha, hu, ha, cha. Karate. Oh no, they're getting away. Cha, hu, ha. Alright, I'm gonna take out camera swivel for just a minute. How do we do that? What's the cleanest way to do that? So it's like camera, look at camera, camera, we can just comment these out, I think. Is that, yeah, just comment those out. Oh, so actually I guess, is that literally all of it? Camera actually I guess camera transform rotation is another thing, good thing to look at. Camera dot transform. How many instances? Yeah, just these. Alright, I think that, is that all? That might have been all of camera swivel. If so, I'll comment it out a little bit more cleanly. Nope, clearly not all of camera swivel. Oh, I know why. Because, right, camera swivel was never super important anyways. It was, what is it actually? It's like the, it's like, it's just transform itself. So, transform, whoops, no. Transform dot rotation. Not hero. Not hero. Huh. That's funny. Hero.transform.rotation. Wait, what is hero? Hero is just this, right? Yeah. So I don't remember why the camera swivels. It'd have to be like transform.rotation or like this dot, or no, maybe it's like look at. Am I using look at? No, I wouldn't do that. Man, I mean, this seems like a sensible place to put it. This is where I'm like calculating the. Apparently not. No. Hmm. What is CMRA? CMRA is this, right? Wait. Wait, did I just not save it? Because I feel like that totally should have been it. Yeah, no, the whole thing wouldn't rotate. It would just be CMRA. So I guess I can just look up all the instances of CMRA. Right, yeah. Cut those, cut... No, that's normal. Alright, so I feel like that has to be it, and I just I must not have saved after I commented these things out. I don't know. I don't know what else would be causing this to rotate. Alright, there we go. Yeah, I just forgot to save it. Alright, I'm super smart. Incredibly smart, you guys. So smart. I remember things sometimes. Super cool. I swear. Alright, so if we go without the camera swivel, we definitely want to move the hero up in the camera range, because like this becomes a thing that you have to do fairly often, is like move downwards, because you don't just like automatically swivel around. So yeah, that'll be one important thing to change. It's weird not having the camera swivel anymore. Right, let's bomb some stuff. Alright, I guess bomb is better now that the game like does stuff. I guess a lot of the powers and targeting, I made them having in mind just like the previous mob swarming behavior. So it's a little, like I was saying before, it's like now that hypothetically you want sometimes to just target specific mobs, it's a little it's a bit like it's noticeably non-preferable. So yeah. Oh, I know. I'm going to give the mob prefab a cookie. No. I was going to say I'll just give because yeah. So another important. Whoa. Just with the I guess there's just a lot of traffic around this area. It's getting a bit congested as people try and like scramble to get cookies. But yeah, I was gonna say I just want to come up with some like visual representation of like carrying, like cookie possession, and I was thinking I would just make the cookie part of the mob prefab, but also like when you knock the mob away, I want the cookie to like either go flying in a different direction or just kind of like hang out in the air for a second and then disappear. So yeah. Alright, so what if instead of the mobs swarming to a position, then getting the cookie, and then I'm thinking like what if the mob started with cookies and then they could all just march in one direction. then, yeah, it kind of inverts the situation, right? Because then you don't have to worry about the ones that are escaping really as much, because you just have to, you only really have to worry about the mobs that are charging towards you, because you'll start between the mobs and between the cookie carrying mobs and their destination. And so, yeah, I guess I can just get rid of home probably, which is good because I didn't like it. I didn't like what I had to do. I mean, I did it, but the whole time I was like, um, so yeah, let's try that instead. So yeah, we just set up this logic, but this logic is not my favorite logic, so we're gonna go for differenter logic. Wow, yeah, we can get rid of a lot. So we can get rid of the home thing. We can get rid of actually, yeah, I'll just comment out the stuff that we did for like offsets based on the position of the home, which was where? It was right above here. No, further. Yeah, it was this whole section here that we can just not have to be caring about for now. Good. Good. Was that the only real effect that... I mean, we refactored all that stuff to accommodate it, but whatever. Who knows, maybe we'll bring it back, and then all that refactoring will have been for a very important purpose. And that is commented out because that's a camera swivel, which we probably still won't want. So, although one thing we might want to do is to, instead of having the camera angle looking like directly downfield, we might want it to look across field. Although, for this aspect, or for like this this tall aspect ratio, I guess looking downfield is probably like the correct thing to do. Oh right, the mobs are still swarming towards home, but the home just doesn't exist anymore. So alright, so yeah, so I guess we'll probably want to invert carrying, because carrying is now the default state of the mob. So I mean, we could just have the way we spawn and destroy mobs. Oh, speaking of destruction, we should add in with the way we destroy mobs. We should add in a reference to carrying, so that we'll reset that correctly when destroying the mob. And we're not really destroying it; we're unavailing it, as we decided. Oh no, that's what we do for buttons. Mobs we destroy, right? Let's find out. Destroy mob, yeah, totally a thing. So, yeah, I mean, the way we had it set up originally, we would then say carrying equals false. Do we have a spawn mob block? Well, if we do, we should put destroy mob and spawn mob next to each other. But maybe we don't. Maybe the rest... Oh no, yeah, we don't, kind of. We just have that place where it happens. So what is carrying? We don't have to worry about knockback, because we don't have to worry about knocking mobs in the wrong direction, because no matter what direction they're knocked in, they'll drop what they're carrying, and they'll have to run in the same direction. So it's actually advantageous to knock them quote-unquote backwards, because then it'll take them longer to get to their... It'll set them further from their destination. And the further they are from their destination, the better you're doing overall. Alright, so... Huh. I mean, carrying is kind of like the new health in this sense. Or maybe it's just like, I mean, yeah, it's like a smaller health, I guess. um, like it actually takes a while to get to the point that you can like knock mobs clear off the screen in one hit, but until you do that, you can at least like knock the cookies out of their hands. Alright, sorry, that was just like a brief aside. So fine, I'll leave it mobs carrying, so I don't have to flip flop that every time I change my mind about how to implement this. So we'll just make sure that when we destroy a mob, we turn carrying to false, and when we spawn a mob, no. Yeah, no. When we spawn a mob, we'll set its carrying value to true. And that's really all we need to do, because actually a mob, yeah, because a mob's carrying value will get set to false once it gets knocked back. Alright. So, if we go down to where mobs spawn, we can say mobs type I equals 2, mobs carrying equals true, mobs carrying I, excuse me, equals true. Alright. And then, yeah, so I guess anytime knockback is applied, which is fortunate because we actually do that separately. What's it called? No, not you. Knockback calc. Calc. Yeah. Where are you? Right. Okay. So yeah. So now we can also say mobs carrying equals false. So now whenever a mob gets knocked back for whatever reason, it drops its cookie. And we'll want to visualize that. But first let's fix up the logic to do the thing that we said earlier, where instead of swarming, so now, too far. Way too far. So now instead of, so now we ask, is the mob carrying? And now if the mob is carrying, then we actually just want it to just like, basically this, except, oh wait, no, okay. If the mob is carrying, okay, yeah, we basically just want to invert this. Instead of doing minus equals, I'm going to do, no, I should just do minus equals. I like plus equals better. So I'm just going to do -1 times, oops, oops, caps lock's on. Alright, cool. Okay. Sorry. So if mob is carrying and transform. Oh, alright, so yeah. Except now escape dist is different. So yeah, okay. Let's say home dist and escape dist, I guess. Because now we start on like separate sides of the field. Maybe we can just use the same one and it'll be just the negative or positive value. I guess, maybe. It's probably fine. So, alright, so if mob's carrying, if mob's transform position Z is greater than, or is less than -1 times the escape distance, then actually, yeah, what happens then? I guess that just means it escaped. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, if they make it to the other end of the field with the cookie, they still go back and start over? Or do they just disappear and then a new mob spawns in its place? We'll have them go back and start over and see how that works out. So if the mob is carrying, but we haven't made it to that range yet, then yeah, then we just keep marching in that direction. Else if the mob is not carrying, then we march in the reverse direction. So we don't have to do... oh, well actually we have to... Okay, so we can get rid of h offset, but then we say if this basically except not times negative and greater than. So if it's not carrying and it makes it right, so if it makes it past the escape point, then we give it a cookie because yay, you made it back to whatever. And then if right, and then if not, then we basically do this, except without the -1f in there. Alright, save that. So yeah. Oop, forgot. Mob carrying mi equals false. Alright, so now mobs appear on that end of the field, and they just kind of like walk. But as soon as I punch them, excuse me, as soon as I punch them, they should turn around and go in the other direction. Yeah, look at them. Look at them fleeing, because they don't have cookies anymore. And now we just need to visualize the cookies, and it's actually a lot easier to target the mobs that you want, because like, chances are you're targeting... Oh, so maybe the ones that escape should just like literally escape, because otherwise they're going to start cluttering up. They're going to start cluttering up the field, and it's going to make it harder to target the ones that you're trying to target. So, oh, that's interesting. Power is actually not as strong anymore, which is good because I was worried that power was going to be overpowered. Alright, let's get bombs going. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, there's like this weird sense of like movement. And, oh man. Yeah, that was so I have this grid that I don't want to use because the last time I had mobs moving around, like you could really easily like lose your sense of position because like the gradual drift of like the mob army, I don't know, it's just like weird to like not have any like frame of reference for movement except for like just the shape of the... Wait a second. Now even with the grid, I'm just getting like this weird sense of direction, or like lack of sense of translation. What? When I punch one, do they all turn around? No? Oh, when I hit... No? It seemed like they were all... Yeah, they totally all just turned around. I punched one dude and they all turned around. What the heck is that about? I must have used the wrong index somewhere. No, scan range is too low. What was I just looking at? Alright, where was it? No, higher than that. Here we are. Mob's carrying I. That seems fine. Mob's carrying I. Mob's carrying I. Yeah. Did I, what? Did I do something weird in knockback calc? mobs carrying mi equals false. Yeah. That's like the... What? Was I wasn't imagining that, right? Like, mobs were literally like, just like seemingly arbitrarily reversing direction. Like these ones are only reversing direction when I make them reverse direction by knocking them. What? Something about using bomb just made them all change direction? They didn't literally all get hit by the bomb. Oh, maybe the way I have scan range, maybe the way I'm using scan range multi with bomb is applying like ever so slight amounts of knockback calc to these mobs. So I guess for starters, I'm gonna see if I can put a threshold on that. So like, so if kb dot magnitude is greater than kb min drop, I guess, then we'll oh wait, no, doesn't have nothing to do with health calculation. This has to do with carrying. So only if the amount of knockback is greater than the kb minimum drop, and I don't know how much that should be. I guess so yeah, since I don't know how much that'll be, I'll just set it temporarily to be like well, to be public, so I can change it around. Public float. What did I call it? KB min drop. Drop equals I don't know, 0.01 f maybe. I forget how big knockback magnitudes actually are. Actually, I should make it pretty small for starters. Just yes, those are true. I don't use home radius or home height. You can comment those out. Alright. So alright, maybe that was why my like sense of space is like freaking out, is that the mobs actually were moving in unpredictable manners. So so far so good, but like I wasn't seeing that like weird behavior all the time anyways. So I could try I could try setting that value down to 0 and see if that changes. Where did I put it? KB min drop. Let's try putting this to 0. See if that weird stuff that comes back. No? Alright. Well, I wish it would come back so that I can be certain that I, in fact, fixed it. Huh. Did it happen? I guess one thing I should do to my targeting system is probably to have it prioritize dudes who are carrying. Alright, now we're just at the end of the range. That's the only reason they're turning back now. Yeah, what the heck? KB min drop. And that weird thing that was happening. Why was that happening? Alright, I'm gonna make the grid visible again, just so it's clear if and when it happens. But I guess I'll also just stop worrying about it for now because I don't know. As long as it's not happening, I guess that's a good thing. I should also add in the visualization for carrying, just so that way it would also be clear when it's happening. Alright, so I guess I'll just leave KB min drop at like 0.1 for now, because it kind of makes sense as a value even if that weird thing was not occurring. So yeah, let's alright, we got that going. So yeah, let's like I was saying earlier, one way to get one way to get the carrying visualization to work is just to add the cookie to the mob prefab. But actually, I think maybe instead. I was going to do that just as a workaround, but I think I'll actually instead just move towards what I think will be a more permanent solution. So I'm gonna add a new. So all right, I'm gonna make a cookie. It's gonna be a wonderful cookie, I swear. It will be a cylinder. Sort of. It'll have a cylinder. The cookie itself will just be empty though. Cookie. It will have a cylinder. Cylinder will be at 0, 0, 0. Good. It will also have a y scale of like, I don't know, 0.1 probably, and it will have. Let's move it next to the hero so that. What? Oh wait, not that. Move this next to the hero. Also. Zero these things out for a second. Oh, whoops, I'm looking at it from the wrong direction. Okay. So, yeah. So, how big is a cookie relative to... Oops, no, not that. How big is a cookie relative to the hero? That could be an okay size. I would think I want it to be slightly smaller, because actually the more important comparison is probably how big is a cookie compared to the size of a mob, and, yeah. Oh, do mobs orient? I guess they don't have any. I guess it doesn't matter if mobs orient because they'll always ever look in one direction while they're holding a cookie. Alright, so anyways, let's rotate it to be 90 degrees, and then I guess their cookies can slowly rotate or something. Just like catch the light. In a more interesting way. But also let's scale it down further. So let's say like 0.5, 0.05, 0.5. Alright. So yeah, now let's we don't need a collider on this. So let's add a new component. Cookie Um, right. Sorry, I was just thinking about how I do this a lot. I just make things slowly rotate. Oh, for example, the destination marker slowly rotates. Uh, oh, you don't need a collider either. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah. So, slow rotation, yeah. Oh, except, yeah, then one other thing. What was that? Update, fixed update, fixed update. Void, fixed update. Except not marker transform rotate. Wait, where did I put this component? Did I put it right on the cylinder? Yeah, I did. Which is not actually how I usually do this, so I'm gonna put it on this here. Okay. So yeah, let's do these things. There's going to be one difference. Here it's going to be a float. Or no, actually, I guess no, we don't need anything separate for that. We just yeah, marker. Let's rename that to coin, I guess. And let's just that's just going to be a public game object, which is the it's this cylinder is rotate. Oh, okay, so actually, wait, yeah, I'm guessing for dest, I use marker raw instead of marker itself. So actually, I'm going to use create empty coin raw, and coin raw will be parented to cookie, and then cylinder, or I'll call it coin. Will be parented to coinrot, and then so for the purpose of the script, we will refer to coinrot, and because coin already has like a weird rotation value on it, it would rotate weird with the script, so we're going to use that hierarchical game object just to have a cleaner rotation. And so yeah, the other thing that we're going to do is we're going to say that on start. Raw speed equals what? Raw speed equals random dot value greater than 0.5 question mark. Raw speed else. So yeah, we're flipping a coin, and route speed is either going to stay as route speed or it's going to get inverted. And that way the cookies won't all spin in the same direction. Alright, so now we do what? Now we save. Yeah, we can, I'm tempted to just make the cookie the same color as the hero for now, maybe. That seems fine, I guess. But yeah, so if I play, the cookie will slowly rotate. Yeah, it will. Totally slowly rotating. I wonder if it's going to make it look like the mobs are slowly rotating, if the cookies are slowly rotating. Whatever. Alright, so yeah, this is our prefab now, basically. So it's prefab, yay. And then get rid of that one, because that one doesn't actually exist. So now let's